While over in the House, Mike Johnson prepares to gut Medicaid. In the executive branch, Elon Musk is turning his sights on killing Social Security. And now the White House is having to scramble to control the damage of this recent appearance.
The wage report in entitlement spending, which is which is most of the federal spending is entitlements. That's like the big one to eliminate, because that's the sort of $500 billion, maybe $700 billion a year. That is also a mechanism by which the Democrats attract and retain illegal immigrants by essentially paying them to come here, and then turning them into voters.
Okay, so we will return to those massive lies. He's just saying the replacement theory. He's again falsely implying in a conspiratorial fashion that undocumented migrants get access to these services, which they do not. And it's especially gross in that they do actually contribute to those. They pay in taxes to those programs, which they can never actually access. So utterly grotesque lies from Elon Musk there, but that's arguably today the less important part of that. The more important part is he is signaling we're coming for Social Security because of waste and fraud. Again, conspiratorial fraud that's already been disproven, but regardless of whatever the excuse is, that's where he's looking now, and he wants to make those cuts. He previously called it a Ponzi scheme, as we'll get into, and he wants to kill the program because he doesn't personally need it, and it costs a lot of money, so maybe we just kill it. So I'm worried about this, but I'm gonna allow Bernie Sanders to break down his concerns.
He has called Social Security a Ponzi scheme. They have already laid off 2,500 employees of the Social Security Administration. I think this is a prelude, not only to cutting benefits, but to privatizing Social Security itself. I think that's in the back of their mind. If you make the system dysfunctional, why would anybody want to support it? And that's consistent with what Trump said in his State of the Union address. Oh, there are millions of people, thousands of people, 200 years old and 150 years old. What is all of that about? It happens to be a lie. It's not true. 99% of the benefits go to people, more than that go to people who have paid into them. So why do you lie so much about Social Security? Why do you make it look like it's a broken, dysfunctional system? The reason is to get people to lose faith in the system, and then you can give it over to Wall Street.
Exactly, and look, there's been cases in which right-wing media and even some politicians have been willing to push back against this insanity. Like some of the politicians realize that their constituents depend on this. Maybe they'll do that in this case. I don't think the media will. I think Fox News is gonna be totally cool. They're gonna help to launder this. They're gonna push the same conspiracy theories that Bernie was just breaking down there. And in the end, the goal will be, and they might actually get it, they want people to cheer their own retirements being taken away from them. There will be conservatives who will have paid into it for decades and decades, literally earning their entitlement to that money that they paid into, and it's gonna be taken away or significantly cut, or their retirement is gonna be pushed back by literally years, more years of backbreaking labor that you're gonna be forced to do because Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, thinks that it's a luxury that you don't actually need, even though again, you've been paying into it, in some cases as long as he has literally been alive. And that's their next move, Sharon, what do you think?
Yeah, and there's gonna be hell to pay. Now this one, there's gonna be hell to pay. Remember in Russia when the retirement age went up and the protests and people taking to the street. This is in Moscow, okay, and other parts of Russia under Putin. People were that upset about it that they risked the blowback, okay, and we know what that means in Russia. And they said, no, you can't do this to us. Same in other countries. So when you take something that has been earned, it's not a gift, it's earned by everyday Americans, and you take it away, and then you go to these town halls again, and you have these Republican lawmakers, the ones that dare show up, stupid, I guess, saying things like, well, it's not really gonna happen. It's not, don't worry about it. He's gonna take care of you. They say the same thing about Medicaid. There's gonna be hell to pay, and I believe it could happen. It really is going to happen.
Yeah, I talked about what the right-wing media is gonna try to do. I have to assume that people will see through it, right? I have to assume that they will understand that no, you can't take away our literal retirement. What are we working towards? What is all of this? If not a few years maybe where we don't have to toil. And they're now coming for that. They've wanted to kill it for decades and decades. Again, the rich have no interest in you having Social Security. They don't need it. You do. They don't care. And Elon Musk is just, he's maybe more brazen, a worse communicator, more grotesque to look at. That doesn't really matter here, but I'm gonna add it anyway. And so he just sort of gives away the game a little bit more than most of them have in the past. So we will keep an eye on that.